In this lesson, we'll learn how we can customize our workspace in Illustrator to best fit our current needs. Alright, so in the previous lesson we learned all about the panel dock over here on the right side of the interface, and we learned how we can modify each of these panels and really configure them to best fit our current needs. After all, it is about setting up this program to make it easier for you to work, right? I mean, Illustrator is really such a versatile program in terms of the type of output that can be created. You may be coming to Illustrator to work on a website, maybe even some kind of video project, or maybe you're even a traditional artist trying to learn how to draw digitally. Now, each one of these type of outputs is going to have a different tool set that's needed for each of those workflows. So you may need some of these panels, and some of these panels may be of absolutely no use to you. So really customizing the workspace to your benefit is going to really improve your own workflow. Now, one really great way of doing that is to create custom workspaces inside Illustrator here. Now, what is a workspace? A workspace is really any configuration of bars or panels within our interface here. So, as a matter of fact, we moused over a button when we were talking about the application bar that was actually our workspace switcher, and it says Essentials right now. So, Essentials is the default pre-configured workspace within Illustrator. If we were to drop that down, you're going to see several pre-configured workspaces here based on the type of work that you're looking to do. If you have more automation type needs, if you have more painting needs. Now, even if you're coming from another application like Photoshop or InDesign, maybe even Macromedia Freehand, Adobe has done their best to create a custom workspace that's going to make the panel setup configuration very familiar to what you're used to seeing. Or very useful to the type of job you're working on. Now, these are just some default configurations, and to be honest, maybe they fit your type of job, or maybe they don't fit at all. So we can actually create custom workspaces to best fit whatever needs we have. Let me just go ahead and show you. I'm going to just configure these panels and locations of some of these areas that we've already talked about, just to kind of fit my own needs. Maybe I want to come over here and create sort of a streamlined drawing or painting workspace, something that has very little clutter and has tools and positions that are really easily accessible for me. So I'm going to come in and drag out some of my panels here. Let's grab our color panel, maybe our swatch panel, and pull that into the group. Let's grab, definitely grab our brushes panel. Let's go ahead and grab maybe our appearance panel. And that looks pretty good for now. I'm going to go ahead and close the rest of these panels out here just by coming over and closing their groups. Just like so. Alright, so what I'm left here is the four panels that I hand-picked. So I've got my my tool panel over here on the left. Maybe maybe I'm a left-handed person, and that's more comfortable for me on the right. So I'm going to just drag that over, move that over to the right-hand side, and dock it there. And maybe I actually even like the control panel at the bottom of the interface. So let me just drag that down here, and we'll dock that there. Let's come up here, and maybe we want to expand this out and just sort of float it off in the top left corner here as we work. That way we can minimize it down even as small as that. So we're really getting a lot of screen space back for us here. So this is a custom workspace, and I'm just going to come up here right now, click on that workspace switcher, and let's come over here and let's just choose Manage Workspaces right now. This is actually going to bring up a dialog window for us. Now we've got the New Workspace button here, and we've got a Trash Workspace button. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new workspace. And you can see here that it brings in an untitled workspace. Let's just call this Streamlined Painting. And let's hit OK. And now we can actually come up to our workspace switcher, and let's see that we have that new workspace appearing at the very top of our list. So we can switch over to that, and you can see here that we are exactly where we saved all these panels and bars. So let's come over here and switch to maybe the let's switch to the typography one. It's going to have lots of type related tools. We've got our character panel, paragraph panel, open type panel, different panels related to typography. And maybe we come over to this workspace, we work work on another document that we've got open, and then we come back and we decide we're going to continue working on our painting. So we just switch our workspace right back over to that streamlined painting workspace, and we're ready to go. You know, when I was actually saving this workspace, I showed you the Manage Workspace dialog. You know, we don't even have to look at that. We can just choose Save Workspace, and let's just call this one, let's just leave it as Untitled Workspace 1. Let's go ahead and hit OK on that. And you can see just by going to Save Workspace, we can easily add another workspace. Let's come in here and delete that extra workspace that we just created. I'm going to go to Manage Workspaces again, and I'm going to come over here and select that workspace, and I'm just going to trash it by hitting this Delete Workspace button right here, the little trash can. Now, you know, it's also possible to copy a workspace that we've created in case we need to make changes to that. So let's go ahead and say we want to make a copy of this streamlined painting workspace. I'm going to come over here with that workspace selected, and I'm just going to hit the New Workspace button. See here that we've made a new copy of this workspace. Let's call this one maybe Streamlined Painting 2. So I'll just rename that and hit OK. And maybe we want to make a second version of this, and only with this version we're going to intend to use this one on a much larger screen. So let's go ahead and expand this out into a single column for our tool panel. And maybe we want to drag this panel group over here to the right and snap it right in right about there. So, and now we need to make sure and save the changes to this workspace. So let's come over here and say Save Workspace. Let's call it Streamlined Workspace, or actually, excuse me, Streamlined Painting 2. That's the name of that second one we just created. It's going to give us a warning saying that there's already a workspace with that name. That's okay. I want to save over that. So I'm going to hit Yes on this dialog. And now you can see we have a second custom workspace here that we've just modified and saved called Streamlined Painting 2. We can switch between those two workspaces however we need to. Now you can actually access the workspace dialog like I just accessed through the application bar over here under Window and choose Workspace. You can see here that we have our two custom workspaces, all of the default custom workspaces, as well as the Save Workspace and Manage Workspace options. So just another place where you can go to access those different options. So as you can see, by customizing our workspace, we have the potential to work more efficiently inside Illustrator. So go ahead and create a couple of different workspaces of your own just to try this out. Come back, and in the next lesson, we'll learn about using multiple artboards.